Hi everyone, I'm Melissa. Today I'm gonna present our workbook's summary of chapter 1. The chapter is about what is critical thinking, what standards uh, of critical thinking, and the feature of critical thinker. If you are ready, let's start it. What is critical thinking? There are some keywords about critical thinking. The first one is disciplined thinking. Disciplined thinking is a process that approach problem with a rational, plausible, and neutral reasoning. And the second one, lower order thinking. Lower order thinking is a passive thinking. You can just passively absorb information and then repeat it back on tests. And the third one is higher order thinking. High order thinking is an active and smart assessment of information. Let's move on. And what is critical thinking? Critical thinking is the general term given to a wide range of cognitive skills and intellectual temperaments needed to effectively identify, investigate, and assess debates and through arguments. Let's move on. There are some criteria about critical thinking. I will name critical thinking standards. The first one is clarity. Before we assess anyone's claims, arguments, and ideas, we should understand clearly what he or she is talking about. And the second one is precision. This standard is significant because it is a feature that separates people. For example, people that colleague can be different from each other. One is more careful and more successful than the other. The reason of this case is that precision. And the third one, accuracy. In this standard, important thing is your basis. If your basis is full of If your basis is full of correct information, you make true decisions. Otherwise, incorrect information can cause incorrect decision. And the third one is relevance. In any issue, staying relevant is critical because the most irrelevant thing can distract your focus. But critical thinker is careful about this issue. They don't be deceived. They understand this trick. And the fifth one, consistency. People's words can conflict with their deeds. It can be fully aware or not fully aware. In this point, critical thinking is significant. It's important. And the other one, completeness. Shallow or superficial thinking is deficient in most cases. We can complete with deep and comprehensive views, comprehensive thinking. But sometimes it's impossible. It can change according to cases. And the other standard, fairness. Objective and impartial thinking is important. It may be difficult because of sentimental culture, society, an environment that you grow up. But important thing must be the case. Let's move on. And there are benefits of critical thinking. Now we see critical thinking in different environments. Critical thinking in the classroom. Critical thinking is a college education, so it's at forefront. It's critical. The effectiveness of students and its skills, its skill that evolution of knowledge and arguments. In critical thinking course, students learn variety of skills. First one, understanding the arguments, claims, and beliefs of others. And the second one is critically evaluating those claims and beliefs. And the third one is developing and defending one's one's own good supported arguments and beliefs. Let's move on. In the other environment, workplace, critical thinking in the workplace. In popular world, there's a view that education keep in the background. Important thing is to learn when working, but it's not true. Employees with good thinking and communication skills are more quickly learners than others. And the other environment, critical thinking in life. Critical thinking can help us avoid from making foolish decisions regarding personal behaviors, purchases, relationships. Also, critical thinking is significant for developing yourself. It pushes us to interrogate, engage in lives. And there are some barriers, just as there are benefits. Let's look at why critical thinking that so many people, including many highly educated and smart people, find critical thinking so hard. There are some factors. Let's look at. First one is egocentrism. Egocentrism is the tendency to act as center on oneself. People with egocentrism are selfish. They think that their ideas, interests are superior to others. They don't care others' views. They always see themselves as right. They aren't open-minded people, so they don't think critical. And the second one, sociocentrism. Sociocentrism is group-centered thinking. It may avoid logical, rational thinking because of focusing excessively on the group, just as egocentrism focuses on self-interest. So, balancing both egocentrism and sociocentrism is required for critical thinking. And the third barrier, unwarranted assumptions and stereotypes. People always assume anything in life, but assumptions are divided two categories. The first one is warranted assumptions. It means that we have good reason to keep these assumptions. Good reasons can be clues, evidence, or hint. And the other assumption kind, unwarranted assumption. It's illogical. In this assumption, there is no good reason, there is no clue, hint. You make up foolish, stupid things. And there is stereotypes. It's a norm. We can think it as a one plate and everyone is in it. It's not based on individual, it's based on special group and um everybody is in it is alike. And there are some limitations and you can't cross the line. The fourth barrier, relativistic thinking. Relativism is the view that truth is a matter of opinion. There are two popular forms of relativism. The first one is subjectivism, and the second one is cultural relativism. First one is subjectivism. Truth changes according to individual. Truth is peculiar to individual. If anyone believes that anything is true for himself, it's true. It's not important thinking anyone wrong, anyone false. And the second one is cultural relativism. Uh, this is the view that truth is a matter of social or cultural opinion. Truth changes according to cultures. It's about, uh, it can be about society also. For example, while in one culture drinking alcohol is immoral, in the other culture it's moral. Let's move on. And the fifth barrier, wishful thinking. People afraid of unknown things and strive for make world inhabitable. For example, to run away what they fear, they make up extraordinary stories. In other words, it's like a denial, we can say. Let's move. And in this page, uh, there are some characteristics of a critical thinker. Um, in this, there are features of critical thinkers and uncritical thinkers. Let's look at the first feature. Critical thinkers are susceptible to clarity, accuracy, and other critical thinking standards, but uncritical thinkers mostly think in ways that are unclear, imprecise, and incorrect. And the second feature, critical thinkers are good at understanding, analyzing, and evaluating arguments and perspectives. But uncritical thinkers frequently misunderstand or evaluate unfairly arguments and viewpoints. And the third feature of critical thinkers are honest with themselves, acknowledging what they don't know and identify their limitations. But uncritical thinkers seem like they know more than they do and ignore their limitations. And the fourth feature, critical thinkers think independent and don't afraid of expressing their opinions. But uncritical thinkers are tend to engage in groupthink uncritically regarding the beliefs and ethics of the crowd. And the fifth feature, critical thinkers base their beliefs on actual and evidence rather than on personal interest and preference. But uncritical thinkers often count their beliefs on simple personal preference and self interest. And these are the features of critical thinkers and uncritical thinkers. Let's move on. And that's the end of my presentation. Thanks for listening.